Hi there, welcome back to the Roundtable. I am your host, Steven, and today I'll be talking about the latest episode of the third season of Star Trek Picard. This is the fourth episode called A No Win Scenario. This one was directed by Jonathan Frakes, who's no stranger to the director's chair, especially in the Trek realm. He's done a lot of stuff. He's done the movies, he's done episodes for, I think, all of the series, and usually he's spot on. So and again, with this one, I think he hit pay dirt. For me, this was like a real great episode dealing with emotions, adventure, the consequence, the redemption, everything involved. And I thought it really hit, for me, the sweet spot on all of them. It was really great. So it kind of deals with two things. You got it kind of like flashes back to 5 years ago where Picard is having a meal and he meets these cadets from Starfleet who are going to ask him questions about his adventures, and he kind of gives his stories and all this. And then we go back to the Titan, who are falling in an energy well in this nebula, and these energy surges are hitting the ship. Beverly Crusher comes to the conclusion that this is actually a living entity, and these energy surges are the labor pains. But so they decide, and we backtrack a bit to Riker, who's now at a loss because he lost his son and didn't take full command. He was in protective mode and understood. Picard was in attack mode. They kind of were at odds. They come together, realize, no, this could be the end. And they kind of said, let's make the best. So Riker tells him, you need to get in touch with your son, get to know him, and get your affairs in order, basically, because we're not coming out of this one, right? Or so we think, but we all know. I'm not going to kill the whole cast for 4 episodes in, right? So, but it adds to the urgency of the situation, which was, I think, really well done. So Picard takes Jack into 10 forward, or a version of it, through the holodeck, right? And they pour a couple of drinks, discuss their stuff. And there's always this flashing back with the students from 5 years ago, and how he talks about how, working together as a crew, working together, pulling together your resources, you will never lose hope. And I think he's trying to bring that. They're trying to make them see that in this present moment, right? So, Jack and Picard are trying to have these family moments. Jack is kind of telling him, I don't need this moment. But Picard kind of tells him, I do, you know. So we see that. That was pretty, it's nice scene with them. Riker is kind of, again, on the fence of how to, he's down in the dumps. He wants to leave a message to Diana because he figures they're not going to make it. But then it leads into this other scene where Picard, Crusher, Jack have the idea of using these power surges to re-energize the Titan and get out of the nebula. And Picard kind of puts it this way, kind of, if we're going to go out, let's go out as the best of us, as the team that we were in The Next Generation, in these movies that pulled together, use our brains, our bronze, and our resources, and give it a try. And that kind of reinvigorates Riker, and he kind of sees the wonder again of the adventure, of the human adventure, at least, and the wonder of this thing that it's actually a living, breathing being, and it's bringing life into the universe. So I think kind of re-energizes him, and he gets back on board, and he gets the rest of the ship's crew, because we got to work together, we got to do this. And I thought that was a fundamental return to The Next Generation, where they used to be in the ready room and discuss how they're going to overcome the obstacle in their path in that particular episode or in the movie. That was great. Also, there's a great scene with Seven and Shaw. There's a couple of great scenes there. So again, with the ready room kind of scenario, that was great. 7 of 9 coming to see Shaw to help her find the changeling saboteur or draw him out, and also to get him fix the engines so they can receive the energy from the nebula. So to see them, Shaw, to see him in a different light. And the other part of the different light was a great part when he walks into 10 forward, where Picard is and Jack and having a discussion. We find out that he was a survivor of Wolf 359, where Jean-Luc Picard had been assimilated and became Locutus of Borg and was destroying all the ships in the Federation. And you can see that he's got this survivor guilt. Shaw has survivor guilt. He was randomly selected to go on the last escape pod And he still holds that heavily upon him, and I think he really hates Picard because of that, or he's part of the reason. And to see him go after Picard, and Picard, lets him say his piece and leaves, and understands that what he's done has not only affected him, but has affected everyone throughout Starfleet. And like he says, Picard was so evil as a Borg. He was the first Borg to have a name. He was given the name of Locutus. So very interesting, very, very hard scene, a very good scene. And I like that one. That was a great another part of Star Trek, the drama, the emotional magnitude of their consequences of their actions. Very, very interesting at that. I really enjoyed that part. Going back to the 5 year recap, or not recap, but a flashback, we find out that Jack wanted to reach out to Picard at one point and was there at that moment with the Starfleet cadets, basically, and asked them what Picard, if he ever needed a family or wanted a family, and he kind of responded, Starfleet was the only family I ever needed or wanted, basically. And at one moment, Picard remembers that and finally pieces it together that it was Jack that was reaching out to him, and Picard inadvertently dismissed him. And this is why he never continued to pursue a relationship with Picard. Very poignant. When you see the scene, you see Patrick Stewart did a great job at that scene, looking at him, and that realization that he was the cause of Jack not reaching out anymore. Very, very powerful scene in that episode. There's a lot of powerful scenes in there. I thought this was a great, maybe my favorite one of the bunch up to now. So really great again. And then to see 7 and 9 kind of take the, find the changeling and stop the changeling from doing more damage to the ship, and stopping them from using the power surges from the nebula. Great time for her. Shaw, I keep kind of seeing her in a different light with that scene. Really great. A lot of powerful scenes in there. It was really well done, in my opinion. This is classic Trek, where you see the wonders of the universe, the wonders of mankind, the redemption of mankind. Like I said, Star Trek has never always been about the adventure itself. It is an adventure, but it's more of the human adventure as well. And I think Jonathan Frakes really found a great balancing act on that, and showed the emotional adventure and impact along with the regular sci-fi adventure, which was great. We also see Vatic. She had a great scene there when she cuts off part of her hand and has this creepy kind of FaceTime with her boss, this alien creature, who tells him, go back into Nebula and get Jack. She's expendable, the crew is expendable, the ship is expendable, but they need to get Jack. So she kind of sees her place in there. So all in all, I really thought that episode 4, a no-win scenario, may be the best one so far. And Jonathan Frakes is a really, really, he understands the Star Trek lore, and he understands what are the fundamental pieces that make up a great Trek episode. And he did it here, and he executed it well. So I'm looking forward to the rest of this. I really enjoyed this one. This thing so far is my favorite episode. Everybody has a moment to shine. Everybody's given a moment. Everybody has their chance. And I really like that. And there was a lot of bringing back of what we like about Star Trek. The pulling of resources and not giving up hope. The wonders of the universe. The wonders of life. Everything that built this franchise from the get-go is reminded in this episode, or brought up nicely, and it was done very well, executed very well. And I think Jonathan Frakes should direct a Star Trek movie again with Chris Pine and the gang, and really, I think he would really bring back the Star Trek feel to that franchise. But well, that's my hope and dream anyways. All in all, no-win scenario. Great episode. Loved it. Looking forward to more. If this is, again, like I said, the last time we see the Next Generation together, I think it's really paying off for me. But you let me know what you think. Smash that like button, subscribe. We definitely would love to hear from you. This is Stephen from the Roundtable, wishing everyone to live long and prosper.